The show starts with two orphans being abandoned at the church entrance. The father accepts both of them and notes how one is quiet while the other is lively. In the Clover Kingdom, the orphans Asta, an outspoken, competitive lad, and a shy kid with a talent for magic, seek to be the next Wizard King, the kingdom's most powerful wizard. Asta proposes to Sister Lily, whom he adores, but is promptly denied since clothed women cannot marry. Everyone starts ridiculing him for his lack of skill since he is so persistent, so he tries to show off by performing sit-ups. After mocks him, Asta retreats to the woods to practice alone so that he can face the difficulties in the future with ease. Asta and participating in a magical ceremony one day, during which they both are supposed to get a grimoire tailored to their strengths. Although every grimoire has a portrait of a typical three-leaf clover on the cover, symbolizing integrity, hope, and love, receives an extremely rare four-leaf clover grimoire, signifying good luck. At the same time, Asta is ashamed and made a laughingstock by other magicians when he does not receive a grimoire. As he runs away in embarrassment, is assaulted by other jealous magicians who want to get rid of him. A disgraced former magic knight arrives out of nowhere, seeking to steal the four-leaf clover grimoire. Before trying to grab grimoire, he immediately binds him with his chains. However, Asta comes to aid and resolves to challenge him despite his inability to utilize magic. Despite his best attempts, he is severely beaten by the thief, who mocks him for his lack of magical talent. Hearing his statement, Asta starts to question if his commitment is important, given that he has little chance of achieving magic. When sees him struggling with his convictions, he cheers him up by confessing that he is his rival, and the good old power of friendship blossoms. Asta's tenacity, along with encouragement, conjures a tattered black grimoire containing a fabled five-leaf clover, which is said to represent the devil. A gigantic sword manifests as the five-clover grimoire appears, and Asta wields it. who is shackled, admires him while he fights. In a flashback, and Asta are eating together when the latter suddenly proposes to Sister Lily. Despite her repeated rejections, he spends the majority of his time attempting to propose to her. Sister Lily starts telling them the narrative of their world's history, and they are both inspired by stories of the first Wizard King. And Asta announces that he will someday become Wizard King, second in power to the king. Sister is taken aback by his remark and looks on in awe. When the father comes, he assigns to carry an important message to the head of the neighboring village, admitting that he does not want Asta to go since he is too bothersome to others. As he watches this, Asta asks whether he should accompany, but receives the opposite reaction. On his approach to the village chief, is ambushed and battered by a robber, who steals the necklace he was discovered clutching as a baby. is terrified of using his power to fight back and begs him to return it. Asta realizes is too late and rushes to assist him. When he sees the thief beating him up, he tackles him and continues to get beaten up. Despite being severely hurt in his struggle with the burglar, Asta recovers the necklace when the thief grows bored and flees. Seeing Asta's commitment to assist him, wishes to emulate his bravery and declares that he is Asta's adversary and that he will become Wizard King before Asta. In the present, after summoning the massive black sword, Asta easily defeats the robber by nullifying his magic. reminds him of his pledge and inquires if he recalls it. He declares that despite their poverty and lack of authority, they would endeavor to grow stronger over time. Asta and renew their vow to remain friendly rivals until either of them is crowned Wizard King. When the devil emerged in the Clover Kingdom, everyone thought it was the final day and that everything would be destroyed. A young magician, on the other hand, stood firm against evil and conquered it, becoming a beacon of hope for the people. Because of his valor, he was granted the title of Wizard King. Asta and worked tirelessly to pass the Magic Knight selection test to join the Magic Knight squads, 9 squads of knights that utilize magic and warfare under the leadership of the Wizard King to protect the Clover Kingdom. Father doesn't want Asta to go because he fears he would be devastated, but the village elder persuades him that if it's something he wants, they should let him have it. The rivalry between Asta and Yuno reaches new heights of childish competition. Nash approaches Asta to dissuade him from attending since he feels Asta will fail the test. He is, however, no match for Asta's determination, and Asta instead encourages him to have hope. Later that night, Father Orgi and Sister Lily throw a farewell party for Yuno, congratulating him on his anticipated future success while discreetly telling Asta that if he fails, he may always come home. Nash informs Asta that being a magic knight may mean that everyone's aspirations, even those of commoners and orphans, may come true, and he vows to join the magic knights when he grows up. Asta and Yuno set off on foot towards the capital city, continuing to train and getting significantly stronger as they go, while Yuno still exceeds Asta with magic, completing tasks for which Asta has to use skill and strength. They arrive in the capital city after many days of travel for the Magic Knight test, where success entails showing yourself more powerful than the other Magic Knight applicants. Asta is astounded by how effectively they utilize magic to handle shops and other things as they travel around the capital. They aren't only here to admire other people's magic, so they go to the exam center. When Asta and Yuno sign up for the test, they discover that Yuno is already famous for acquiring the 4-leaf Clover Grimoire. The noble candidates make fun of them. The test hall is teeming with anti-birds who are drawn to persons who have less charm. Asta is harassed by a swarm of anti-birds that overlook Yuno. While running away from them, Asta unintentionally runs into the squad leader of the Black Bulls, who are notorious for their violent actions, and misidentifies him as a typical magician. However, after discovering his true identity, he regrets his choice to run into him. After they depart, he is confronted by Sek Bronzaza, an arrogant aristocrat who promises to assist Asta with the test. He reveals the identities of all the squad leaders to him one by one and expresses his deep appreciation for the captain of the Golden Deer, William Vengeance, the next Wizard King contender. Yuno excels over the other candidates as the test advances. Asta fails, and Sek displays his talent at his own cost. C chose Asta as his opponent for the final test, displaying his hatred for Asta's lack of magic and his ambition to become a magic knight for an idyllic life. As the combat starts, Sek summons a magical shield in the hopes that Asta will disgrace himself by attempting to pass through it, and that the squad leaders will take an interest in him. However, much to everyone's surprise, Asta summons his blade and beats Sek quite easily. After knocking him unconscious, Asta proceeds by promising to fulfill his ambition of becoming the Wizard King. Despite his easy win, Asta is mocked for his ambition to become the Wizard King, and other contenders begin to dismiss his triumph as a fluke. Yami Tsukiro, captain of the Black Bulls, is attracted by his fighting abilities while also bearing in mind his lack of magical power. After that, Yuno is contacted by Salam de Hapshas, an arrogant aristocrat who believes his talent and power are much greater than that of a commoner. Despite using his most powerful magic to humiliate Yuno, Salam is easily vanquished. Following the conclusion of the duels, the squad commanders choose the applicants they want. Many fail and are sent home. Yuno is chosen by all 9 squad commanders, which is unusual, and enters the Golden Dawn, which normally only admits royalty and aristocracy. Nobody is prepared to welcome Asta into his team when the time comes. He is nearly sent home, but Yami Tsukiro, the fearsome captain of the Black Bulls, exhibits his magical pressure in front of Asta. Yami admits him into his team once he can hold his ground in front of him, and Asta is surprised that anybody even welcomed him at all. C, who has been welcomed into the less prestigious Green Mantis team, plans to exact his vengeance by summoning a lizard whose lethal bite will paralyze Asta for life. Yuno, on the other hand, realizes his plans and prevents him from harming Asta, causing Sek to escape in terror. Yami is furious with Asta for making him wait any longer, and when he comes, Finral, a senior member of the Black Bulls, uses his transporting portal to bring them to their lair. Asta rushes into the Black Bull's stronghold to present himself and is hit by a magical explosion. As he is hurled back, Yami welcomes him to the Black Bulls, the kingdom's worst Magic Knight team. Yuno meets Klaus Lunette, a Golden Dawn Knight who challenges his status as a member at the Golden Dawn headquarters. Despite his insulting Yuno for being from the boonies, Yuno remains cool and plans to become strong enough to compel them to accept him. Asta finds at the Black Bull's lair that the blast was caused by 2 Black Bull Knights fighting and that numerous other knights are acting strangely. Finral introduces them all to Asta while they are engaged in their respective pursuits. Yami demonstrates his might by bringing them all to the knee with a single fierce glance after becoming tired of their nuance. Asta discovers that he has been admitted into the Bulls, but he must first earn his robe. Yami organizes a battle with Magna Swing, a youthful knight who specializes in launching fireballs with a fiery baseball bat, after putting Asta through a series of tests. He utilizes his greatest ability to destroy Asta since he feels he is unworthy of wearing the robe. Asta, on the other hand, summons his blade to deflect Magna's fireball back at him. Yami discovers that he can cut not only magic but also repel it. Magna recovers from his strike and is astounded at Asta's might. Magnet is taken aback when Asta admits he lacks magic, forcing him to accept Asta as one of them. After completing his training, Asta is welcomed into the Black Bulls and given his robe with the Black Bull emblem. On his first day in the squad, everyone surrounds him and gives him a wonderful souvenir. Meanwhile, a bashful noble has joined their group but does not expose herself to Asta. Will Asta climb up to the top despite his lack of magic? What do you guys think? Find out in the next video. For now, leave us a like and subscribe to our channel.